he sees them snakes, by the time Veto comes, maybe one of the snakes are sitting next to him. And then I might have a chance.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having an incredible Tuesday. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Big Brother 23 live feeds for yesterday, which was Monday. And real quick, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget to comment and like on this video, as it helps me out a lot with the algorithm. And if you want to follow me on social media, that information is in the description box, along with the information if you want to donate to my channel or gift me something from my Amazon wish list, which, by the way, shout out to Robin and Julie for gifting me more awesome items from my wish list. Thank you so much, Robin and Julie B. That is so sweet of you guys. I've been receiving so many kind gifts from my subscribers, and it's seriously been humbling me so much and putting the biggest smile on my face. So thank you so much. I'm going through some stuff privately, and it's been really brightening my day. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's move on to the Big Brother highlights. Now, these are all things that I thought were important yesterday. I'm sure so much more happened because you guys know they had nothing but talking to do in that house. So these, like I've said, are just highlights that I pointed out or things that I personally saw. So let's get right on into it. Okay, so yesterday was a busy day for Kyland. He had quite a few conversations. He had a conversation with Derek F, conversation with Frenchie, which turned into a conversation with Derek X and Frenchie. And then after Veto, he had loads of other conversations. It was a conversation day for Mr. Kyland. So we'll go over some of those convos that happened. Kyland at one point said, and this was when he was by himself, he said that he plans on taking Sarah as far as he can. He made a promise to her and he plans on keeping it. And then Derek F and Kyland had a conversation, and it kind of blossomed into the possibility of a final two. When Kyland was by himself after this conversation, he did say that he was like interested in a final two with Derek F, and that it's definitely something that he is down to talk about in the future. Me personally, I'm kind of disappointed with Derek F. I don't know. He's been so far up Frenchie's butt that I'm just not vibing with Derek F, which really sucks because I thought he was going to be like one of my top favorites, and that's just not the case. But that's okay. The season is still young. Things can change. Frenchie and Kyland had a conversation, but before I talk about that, I want to talk about a conversation I had with, conversation Frenchie and Derek F had. They basically talked about how Frenchie does not want to be on the block next to Brittany anymore. He feels that he cannot hold his head high. He feels like he cannot be proud to be on the block next to Brittany. He thinks that it doesn't give him a chance. How can he possibly campaign to against somebody who he feels doesn't do anything in the game? Again, it all goes back to his ego. He, for some reason, thinks that he is Dan Kirby, aka Dan Giesling and Will Kirby combined. He thinks that he is the top dog. And I don't know where he started, I don't know what made him think this, but he consistently strokes his ego. It's really crazy. He definitely at one point said that he would prefer to be sitting on the block next to a man. And I think that he was implying Brent. I think he acknowledges that Brent is probably the only possibility of him staying. Like, if he is sitting on the block next to Brent, that's the only way Frenchie might stay and not get evicted. So, I don't know, but I don't fucking know. And then at one point, Frenchie went around asking the house guests if they had any articles of clothing that he could take and donate to Hearts of Reality. I don't know what his obsession is. Like, he really comes he's coming out of this house thinking that the entire Big Brother Twitterverse loves him so much, that he has all of the fans, that everybody adores him and wants to follow him and wants everything to do with him, and that's just not the case, and he's in for a rough awakening when he gets out of this house and back onto social media. But yeah, so he was going around asking everybody if they had any clothing that he could donate to Hearts of Reality. I do think that he is using this as, you know, trying to get people to feel bad, like, oh my gosh, he's gonna donate his winnings to a charity. And of course, he's mentioning Hearts of Reality, which is a charity that all of the Big Brother alum participate in during the summer, or yeah, is it during the summer? It's something, it's sometime, I think it's during the summer. And so Frenchie would be participating in, like, well, since he's going home early, he'll probably participate in this year's, but I don't fucking know. Whatever, it doesn't even matter. Either which way, he almost got in trouble from production for doing that. It was really funny, so I thought I'd mention it. And then before I talk about the Kyland and Frenchie talk, I will say that at one point, well, before this conversation, Kyland, Tiffany, and Claire had a team meeting, and I do really like that Kyland is including his team in a lot of his decisions. He's using them as a way to bounce ideas off of, get advice, and I really like that, because Tiffany and Claire are two very smart, very observant players in this game, and their advice is very good, especially towards Kyland, and they care about him, and I really love that. So I wanted to mention it because that's exactly what French Fry should have been doing last week, but he refused because he is the man of all men and knows everything. He does not need his teammates' advice, especially Azah and Brittany. Okay, so then let's get into the Kyland and Frenchie conversation. Frenchie just went on to basically say that he has always had Kyland's back. He knew from day one that he was going to go to bat for Kyland. And he said that if he, Frenchie, ever got HOH ever again, Kyland would have nothing to worry about, which is a similar promise that he made on night one. So if I were Kyland, I would have been like, but your promises don't mean shit. Kyland did ask him, he did put Frenchie on the spot at one point and asked him, so why did you say that Derek X wasn't your target when you asked Travis to win the power of veto so that you could put Derek X on the block? And Frenchie just went on to say that he never intended for Derek X to be on the block, blah, blah, blah. And then the most shittiest shitter moment of this conversation was when Frenchie proceeded to say that he acted crazy week one because of family issues that he realized or found out on day 3. Yes, that's what he said. And then he proceeded to talk about his son. Well, at one point he swore on his son, like he has this necklace, and his sister on Twitter said that his son's ashes are in that necklace. I saw this tweet, so she said that herself. So he swore on that necklace, and then he, what was it? I feel like I wrote it down. Maybe I didn't, but he swore on that necklace, and then he swore on his family, I think. And it was a swear on, like, I'll never put you up on the block or something. He was swearing about something, and then after that he told production to turn off the feeds because he was going to go and tell Kyland about his son, and it just all felt really yucky. Like the whole moment felt very gross. And I think in one of my lives, either with Jolene or on my own channel, I think I mentioned that I was surprised that he hasn't used like family issues or like a dying grandma as strategy, and then there he goes. Like, just call me like clairvoyant or whatever, because I just see the future. Call me Raven. because I just see it coming and I call it like it is. Mind you, the living room table, that hazardous table that I was talking about in my BBH or Big Brother house reveal live, yeah, it broke like I said it would. Now I'm just waiting for that coral reef thing in the damn room to be a problem, and I'm sure it will be. Before he started swearing on his child and all of that stuff, he went on to tell Kyland about his qualms with being next to Brittany again. He like really does not like to be next to Brittany on the block. He hates it. He swears that, or he tells her that it's because she's on his team, but then he'll tell people like Derek F that it's because he can't be proud to be next to the block next to her because she doesn't do anything. So it's like, pick your poison and stick with it. So we ended up having the power veto ceremony, and Derek X did not use the power veto, so Brittany and Frenchie are still up on the block. And then the rest of the night was really, like the afternoon was really just Kyland, oddly enough, going around and trying to make safety deals with people. And it's like, dude, that ship has sailed. You're supposed to make the safety deals before the nominations and before the power veto ceremony, but you're doing all of this after? You know, like, what? Okay. Okay. And then the rest of the night was kind of just a lot of like couple conversations. Like at one point, Brent was trying to talk to Derek X about like his tips for picking up women. And I was like, Derek X, please, please don't take any advice from the Karate Kid, okay? Like, just don't. Just don't. And yeah, that feels like it was pretty much it. Frenchie throughout the night was kind of pandering for pity vote. See, I talk, like when I talk about Frenchie so much, it just fucking like mushes my brain and then I can't talk. Frenchie was pandering for pity votes throughout the night. It was a little funny because it kind of gave me the vibe that he was going around asking people for pity votes so that he could low-key get enough pity votes to stay. Which would have been funny if he was able to pull that off. I will say that. And then Kyland did at one point tell Alyssa that Brent and Whitney were the rest of the house's next target. And she was really shocked because she did not see them as like a couple. She just didn't think, and Kyland was like, really? Because I only ever see them together. She's like, well, I didn't think that they like talked game like that. And it just really goes to show you how like awful Alyssa's reads are in the house. I think she's a little too focused on Christian, but that's fine. That's okay. There's quite a few little showmances blossoming. Christian and Alyssa, Derek X and Hannah have a little flirtmance going, and I love to see that. Brent did say that Whitney's boobs are too big for him, so he is not interested in pursuing her. He said that he likes Hannah, but he's not going to try to go after her because he thinks that the woman should approach him. And it's funny because Hannah doesn't even want to be his friend after this game, so she is definitely not going to be approaching his ass. That's for sure. And that's pretty much it. Brent did say that he does not compete for women, and he also told he told somebody, I forget who he told somebody that that next week a female, he uses the word female a lot, that they need to be targeted and evicted from the house, and that he thinks that Whitney and Hannah will do his bidding because they swear that they're not close to the girls. Little does he know, Hannah is very much close to Tiffany and Azza and even Claire, so I don't know what he does. He likes Hannah, but he likes himself more, that he doesn't see reality, whatever. Anyways, this video is way longer than I like to make my videos, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure your bell notifications are on, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!